Joining me. Well, here's a story about something which I know a lot of you feels quite strongly about. We did have, of course, these attempts to impeach Donald Trump. We've also got 4 different sets of criminal charges that he's going to be facing likely in the next year or so. But now we are seeing, well, finally chickens coming home to roost for one Joe Biden, not just president, but former vice president, of course. And the US House of Representatives is to open a formal impeachment inquiry into his presidency. It's according to the most senior Republican, that is Kevin McCarthy. He said the inquiry would focus on allegations of abuse of power, obstruction and corruption. Republicans have been investigating the president since he took control of the House in January. And hearings, they have found no concrete evidence of misconduct. However, there are some very, very big questions that need to be asked about the business dealings of his son, Hunter Biden, and Mr. Biden's knowledge of what his son has been getting up to while he's been making millions and millions of dollars with no discernible skill or knowledge to justify it. Well, let's talk about this with Brett McHargue, who's chair of Democrats Abroad. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I think it's only reasonable and fair, isn't it? There should be an impeachment inquiry against Joe Biden. If he's an innocent man, he's done nothing wrong, not been involved in some of these questionable business dealings with peddling the influence of the White House as vice president or president, he's got nothing to fear.
I think the important thing is this actually has nothing to do with Biden. It's all about Speaker McCarthy and the fact that he needs to control his right wing by giving them things like this. So there are no credible allegations about Biden. They've all been investigated. Nothing's shown up. So it is
even the references to meetings. The reference to meetings constantly, and the big man, as they believe in the leaked, the revelations on that those hard disks belonging to Hunter Biden, that reference meetings. I'm not remotely a Trump supporter. I'm not remotely a right-wing Republican. I think there are questions to be answered about Joe Biden and his family's business dealings, and why on earth, Hunter Biden has made all this money, millions out of Ukraine and other countries, and had all these business meetings at senior levels when he is, frankly, a complete, a drug addict nobody. Why on earth would he have gained access, and why on earth would the Biden family be worth many, many millions if there wasn't something questionable going on?
Just 11 days ago, Speaker McCarthy himself said that he refused to have these hearings unless the full House voted on it. But because he doesn't have control with his own people, he had to call for these hearings. The people have been looking at this. Everyone's been looking at this. If there was something there, it would have been found by now. It's not there.
Well, we say that it's not been properly looked to. We are talking about public hearings, people being called to give evidence under oath. This will perhaps focus minds. You know as well as I do that there are some serious question marks about Joe Biden, not just about propriety behind the scenes in these business dealings, but also some very big questions about his mental state, his physical state at his advanced years right now, and his ability to do the job. Would this not be quite a good excuse for the Democrats to maybe dump Joe Biden as their presidential candidate?
Given the successes he's had in his presidency so far, no, I don't think there's any. It's even remotely in our consideration. He passed a bipartisan infrastructure bill that has given new jobs, new well-paid jobs to everyone. So things like that, Democrats are more concerned with running the government and running a good government, and that's what we're doing with President Biden.
If he's done such a good job, and he was, billed really as, the moderate candidate back last time with the Democrat chosen to run against Donald Trump, and if Donald Trump is as awful as what I personally believe he is, why is Donald Trump running neck and neck with Biden in the polls?
You're going to have to ask some Republicans for that. It's beyond me why they support him still. He is a known criminal, so I'm not the right person to ask for that.
But if your candidate is if Joe Biden, it was such a great candidate, he's such a good president, and people care about the economy, they care about getting the job done, and what he's doing is so good and he's so competent, and Donald Trump is so awful. Donald Trump wouldn't be neck and neck in the polls with Joe Biden. No, Joe Biden would be soaring ahead. So there are problems with your candidate. I mean, look, I've always thought if I was in America, I would vote Democrat. I would struggle to vote for Joe Biden.
If it's between Joe Biden and Trump, I'm guessing you would vote for Biden now.
Do you know what? I mean, I believe people vote. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't vote. I think I wouldn't turn out to vote. I think I'd be as horrified as most Americans.
Yeah, that is one problem, which is why we are working as hard as we can, asking everyone who lives abroad to go to votemabroad.org and make sure they're registered to vote, because it's incredibly, I mean, democracy is on the line, really, when we start looking at
but that's what we're told constantly, democracy's on the line. But I mean, but again, Donald Trump wouldn't be able to be this popular if Joe Biden had done a better job. Look, realistically, we know, as what happened with the impeachment inquiries against Donald Trump, it's very, very unlikely. I mean, massively unlikely, given the way that the votes fall in the Senate and the House of Representatives, that there will ever actually be even an impeachment vote that he would lose, let alone he would actually be impeached. So it's not really a worry. But you know as well as I do that headline after headline on, the likes of Fox TV and elsewhere about Joe Biden, the words, Joe Biden, corruption, money, all of those are going to be the key words that people are going to hear associated with Joe Biden. That's going to do you more damage.
That's not what independents want to hear about, though. I mean, yes, the right wing, that's what fires them up. But we are focused more on the center, left, the independents, the people who want to have a good government. And when they see those allegations and see how false they are, then I can just imagine they're going to vote the right way.
Well, we shall see. Brett McHargue, Chair of Democrats Abroad, appreciate you joining us, sir. Let me have a quick word with Candice Holdsworth on this. Look, I usually get huge amounts of abuse online when I criticise Donald Trump. I'm always going to say what I think. I can't bear the man. I think he's unfit to be president. But I also think, last time around I said, if it was up to me, best of a bad lot. Not a fan of Joe Biden, but I'd vote Joe Biden. I don't think I could right now.
Yes, well, I mean, these have turned out to be very credible, a lot of these things, from the laptop. I mean, if you've read the book, The Laptop from Hell, Miranda Devine, she talks about a lot what you mentioned, the big guy, which people think may be Joe Biden. We don't know for sure.
Who else is it?
But I mean, there's been so much willful blindness. First of all, about the veracity of the laptop itself, which has now proved to be completely true. But now looking into these allegations, and no one's really wanted to see it because of the deep partisan divide.
Yeah, and this is such an issue in the justice system and in the political system in America. I mean, it really is. Again, I never see things on a party political basis, whether it's like, Boris Johnson and Partygate. I mean, a plague on anyone's house who behaves in that way. But at the end of the day, if Joe Biden was such a great president, the independents would be all over him, wouldn't they?
We've got to be more discerning. I think that's such a problem when you're just loyal to a fault to a political party. You can't be. You have to assess them on their own terms.
Or a political character.
Definitely. I mean, there is something to this, and it does need to be looked at. And it is true. Why is Trump neck and neck with Joe Biden? Yeah. I mean, maybe things will change.
But my thing is, any politicians who are in their families, when there's a load of money, there's millions of dollars sloshing around, where has that come from? Yeah. How does Hunter Biden make all of that money?
And why was he on all these boards where he had no expertise and he had an incredibly chaotic personal life?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing he had was the surname.
Yes.
And that was overseen by Joe Biden. He's clearly indulged his son on a massive level, hasn't he? I mean, if that's the worst of his faults, then that's one thing. But it doesn't look that good. I think I'm very much in favour of this impeachment inquiry.
But the question is, will independent voters be swayed by that?
Yeah.